Mentoring, I think it's effective because anybody that you know that are doing more things than you can do and better, and a mentor basically have already got to some points. In your mind, they're an expert.
Yeah.
You know, they don't have to be an expert in their field to be an expert to you.
Yeah.
Because you're trying to get where they got. So when you have people that have gotten places and they're where they want to be, and my mentor was my high school football coach, or Josh Gibson, or Bob Rose, Don Benning, they had got in life what they wanted.
Yeah.
And so I was just trying to get in life what I wanted. So if I followed the steps that my mentors had followed and emulated them, then I might be able to do these things for myself like they did for themselves. And so that's why I believe in mentoring. So because we have so many, because of the justice system, this guy they call the first black president, which is Clinton. Clinton did more to hurt our community than anybody else in history at the time, because they came up with the 3 strikes you're out deal.
Yeah.
All of our people start going, fathers start going to jail, mothers start raising the kids, fathers can't come home even when they get out of jail. So we're in a society pretty much with fatherless homes, which makes mentoring even more significant because you're not going to get to your father. These days they're putting your mothers and your fathers in jail. So we really are breaking. So now they're trying to hire other people to take care of the kids, and it's another way of making money. So
yeah, for sure. The reason that I was asking was because I personally grew up without my father, but I had my stepfather in my life, and I feel like even if I didn't have him in my life or a male figure in my life would have turned completely different. It would have been a state Penn as opposed to Penn State, and so that's why I thought that was an important question to ask.
While growing up in that era, in the 60s and in the 70s, can you tell me how it was racially? Did you have any altercations with anybody growing up, and how did you overcome that adversity during those hard times?
Well, I don't think I had altercations as much, although it was very racist.
Yeah.
I think we were at a time where we really didn't even know it was racist, because in the time, and it's coming back to those times, the trades were big. My grandfather, Willie Walker, my great-great-great-grandfather, he couldn't read or write, but he got himself a job at Cutty Hayes Packing House. And because he had got such a good job, it made it better for the whole darn family. And so you had a lot of different people that were working at the railroad. They were working at Cutty Hayes, the packing houses over here. And so black people had money without education, because he couldn't read or write. But he had a great job. Now we have those same type of opportunities. But then, if you have money, we were kind of segregated. 24thers looked like South Omaha. Back in those days, we had business after business after business, and people were kind of doing well, and we kind of stuck to ourselves. So we didn't have, we weren't trying to integrate nearly as much. We were a little bit more segregated. And so even though I grew up in my school, Lothrop, I went to Lothrop and Horace Mann, I had experienced both white and black people. So I really didn't have that many discrimination problems actually coming up. Being a good athlete, I had white coaches and black coaches and black teachers.
Yeah, for sure.
Most definitely. While staying on that topic, we're in 2018. Like, I don't know, obviously. But have you seen a jump, or have you seen progression, as far as racial lines have been, or do you sense the tension in America?
Well, I think it's going backwards. I think it's a lot more, I can see it clearly, a lot more prejudice and racism now than in the past, and the jobs are not nearly as prominent. The jobs right now are opening up in the trades. That's why I give scholarships for kids in the trades, because you can go out and you can be a teacher and get $40,000 a year. You can go out and be a policeman, and you can start off at $60,000 a year, or you could be a plumber and get $2,000 a week. Base income, a plumber or electrician. I mean, those opportunities are really there in the trades right now. So if we can direct our kids back to the trades, since we actually built America to begin with, then, from the ground up, then it only seems fair that now that the trades are prominent and coming back, that our kids should be involved. I came from technical high school where all my friends basically were in the trades.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were, and they, even though you couldn't get into the unions, they always had a way of making a living for themselves because they could bootleg their skills. They had a skill.
Yeah.
So we need to get more back to that, to get more of our kids going back into the trades, and to be over here at Public Power District and MUD, getting some of those prominent jobs that are really becoming available, because you can make as much money as the doctors without having a student loan debt.
Yeah.
And so that's how we really get back into things, if we really have our own money. And back in those days, black people were doing pretty good.
Yeah. Now, off air, you talked a little bit about becoming the president of 100 Black Men starting in January. Is this something that I can speak about right now? Or?
Sure.
Okay. For sure. Do you think that there's anything that you can implement in the future to help grow 100 Black Men in the community?
Well, what I'm trying to own is we want to own mentoring. That's what we want to do, and we want to mentor. I want to mentor for the trades.
Yeah.
I want to have a whole program. I'm collaborating with Tom Osborne's teammates program, and we're going to go on a statewide recruitment effort, so we can recruit mentors for his program as well as mentors for our program.
Yeah.
And so we want to mentor the kids like from the 7th grade, like when I was at King Science, that's when we started in the trades. We want to mentor them right from the 7th grade on throughout high school, right on into employment. And if we can do that, then we can fill a lot of these positions that are coming up, and in 10 years, we can have a prominent community because everybody will have money.
Yes, sir.
You know, and education and that, and they won't have student loan debt.
Yeah, it's the biggest thing.
Yeah. You won't have student loan debt, and you're probably going to have a degree that you can use. You know, a lot of people have degrees that they can't use or they can't get paid for, but they got that student loan debt. They'll keep on kicking until it's over. You know.
Yeah.
I think the biggest sector of our community that files bankruptcy right now are senior citizens on their because of student loan debt. They still haven't paid them off.
Which is crazy to think of. Right?
All right,
That's
so we
crazy.
want to catch them before they get to that point and direct them towards the trade, because they got this psychological game that they're playing to make you like you're less than if you go into the trades.
Yeah.
I mean, really, I said 60 and 40 and 104. You know, I mean, that's very prominent. You're smart, and you have an opportunity to go into entrepreneurship.
Yeah.
You can own your own
Yeah.
business, you know, because you've learned that trade.
Yeah.
So if we can get the 100 Black men, and if we can, I don't know, I think in my tenure, I'll probably get about 400 or 500 kids through that might get degrees. I just gave away 36 scholarships here a couple of weeks ago. I have another 50 lined up for coming in the next semester, and we're through the JET Award and through community giving. We're probably going to do maybe another extra 100. Or next year, probably have a couple hundred that we'll do. So, you know, we'll probably get up to 1,000 here pretty soon.
That's nice.
And we can do that in those type of jobs, because we could get 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, 5,000 and still couldn't fill all the jobs and opportunities that are out there that are available.
Yeah. Very true.
But if we don't create the awareness for our youth that these opportunities are available, then other people are going to get them.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. How about your initial transition from when you knew football was done? What did you think you were going to do right after football was over, when your career was done?
Well, what I did do is that I came from Montreal, where I came from playing Canadian Football League, and I came back to the San Diego Chargers. And I got injured. One of my teammates stepped on my toe and cracked my kneecap. And so my career became over, and I was in San Diego. Well, I took an idea from Montreal, the entertainment, because Montreal was very flamboyant, really nice places. They go from midnight to 5 every day.
Okay.
Lots of things to do.
Yeah. I'm sure you got quite a few stories.
Oh, yeah. I tell those stories.
Yeah.
But when I came to San Diego, I started a magazine called Tuned In San Diego. And it was an entertainment magazine, a cable TV magazine. I had the first weekly cable TV magazine in the United States called Tuned In San Diego, where I promoted cable television when they didn't have a listing guy.
Yeah.
TV guy did the network, and I did the cable. and I bought all the cable, all the checkout counter spaces in all the counties in San Diego County, all around, and put at the checkout counters. I put my TV guy right next to where I was, and they didn't have cable, and everybody had cable. And some kind of way, people had found out how to get the cable free without having to pay.
Yeah.
But they didn't have a guy.
Yeah.
So I ended up had an ABC audit of 75,000 books a week that I was selling in order to provide that need.
Yeah. Jesus.
What gave you that drive to start your own business, knowing that you had to switch up instead of doing athletics when you made the decision?
Well, I've been an entrepreneur. I've been an entrepreneur since the 70s, and it necessarily wasn't by choice. I am the only guy, probably first and last, a guy that ever won a Heisman Trophy after they had a felony.
Wow.
And when you get a felony, you already have a mark against you, so you have to you should start thinking entrepreneurship versus trying to get a job and go through the rigmarole. So since I had a little income and opportunities, I figured I'd be an entrepreneur. I'd start my own things, and I've been an entrepreneur ever since. And so now it's just an ideal way. It's, you work, sometimes people have to work on their jobs to make a living. But in the evening, they should work on their own stuff in order to make a fortune, like you guys are doing.
Yeah, we're working on it. Yeah, we're working on it. Just a really quick side question: do you wish you would have played in the fourth quarter of that Orange Bowl game?
You mean
The greatest performance of all time, as some people say?
Not really. I did enough. Yeah. I did enough, and I think it just speaks volumes that I did so much in such a short time.
Yeah.
In my career, I have most of the records. They're still trying to break my records, and most of the guys play 4 years, and they have more games than we play, and they still haven't managed to do it.
Yeah.
Now, I had a pretty good team of guys because, like I said, we recruited more African Americans than anybody else in history at that time.
Yeah.
So it came along at a really good time. We had some very good players, had a very good team. We came at a time that we were the beginning of integration of football in the South.
Yeah.
But we started in 1970 when we won our first national championship against LSU. They had one black player on the team and they didn't play.
Which is crazy.
In 71, in Alabama, they had one black player and they didn't play.
Yeah.
After we beat Alabama in the Orange Bowl for that second championship, Bear Bryant said publicly, "I got to go out and get me some of them."
No.
Meaning black players.
Yeah.
Now, if you look at Alabama's roster right now, it probably has to be 90-95% black.
It might be the exact opposite of what you're saying.
Oh, it's totally opposite.
Yeah.
Totally opposite right now because they want to win.
Yeah.
That's what it takes to win.
How about deciding to opt out of finishing at Nebraska to go to the CFL? What kind of ultimately led to that decision?
Well, to go to the Canadian Football League? Well, I got drafted to the San Diego Chargers in the first round. Okay, only thing I want is $100,000.
Yeah, that was the goal.
That was the goal, $100,000. I get to San Diego and they offer me $50,000. And it was a whole different type of climate. Now, San Diego is one of the nicest cities I've ever been to in my life. It still is. I love San Diego. But San Diego is about as far south as you can get without going to another country.
Yeah.
That means it's pretty racist and stuff going on there. So they were really trying to go along to get that. And plus, I had coming out of problems that I had here in college. They were trying to just to keep me as minimum as they could, figuring I just want to leave.
Yeah.
And so when they offered me the $50,000 plus incentives, I probably could have made the $100,000 with the incentives, not a problem. But I also had gotten drafted by the Alouettes, Montreal Alouettes. So I made an appointment to go up there and to visit with the owner of that team. And when I got off the plane, Sam Berger, which was the owner of the Montreal Alouettes, he asked me, he said, "Johnny, what is it going to take for me to get you to bring that Heisman Trophy up to Montreal and play for the Montreal Alouettes?" And of course I said,
100,000. Yeah, 100,000. Yeah.
He said, "Okay."
Really? Yeah, he just gave it to you?
That quick, just
That's
like
awesome.
that, just
Yeah.
like that. So I said, well, no brainer for me because I'm trying to get this $100,000.
Most
Yeah.
definitely.
The only problem was, fellas, like I said, I didn't understand money. I had no idea what the value of the $100,000 really was, even then, and that was like 10 years later.
Yeah.
So 10 years later, money really wasn't worth as much as it was when I first started thinking about it. But I didn't have a clue because we didn't have any money. We're going into college. You know what NCAA stands for, right?
What is it? I feel like you're gonna say something else. I think it's the National.
Collegiate Athletic Association.
Is it?
I'm asking you.
I thought it meant no cash at all.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.